In India, as soon as you turn 18, you're gifted a superpower and the rightful opportunity to give the Indian political system a fruitful direction. What's that superpower, you ask? It's called voting. But this isn't a new Tony Starkish superpower. It's rather as old as Thor's hammer. Voting has been around since the 6th century as the most integral feature of democracy. Introduced first in Athens, the system of voting people into power has been since adopted by many nations, including our beautiful democracy. The Indian election system is extremely well organized and a must know for every single citizen. By the end of this video, you'll have a crystal clear understanding of how elections work in India. It isn't a very well known fact that there are actually not just one, but multiple voting systems all over the world. India uses the first past the post system, wherein the candidate or party with the most votes wins the elections. It's a majority based system and is also used by nations like Canada, UK, and the US. Another voting system is the majoritarian system, where voters get more options to choose from and they have to rank the candidates in order of their preference rather than simply choosing one candidate or party they like the best. Next is the two-round system, wherein the first round is exactly like the first past the post system and the second round is held between the two candidates who bagged the most votes. A widely used electoral system, especially in the European countries, is that of proportional representation. As the name suggests, all member states are allotted seats proportional to their population. Last but not the least, the single transferable vote system is similar to the majoritarian system, except that the candidate must reach a predetermined quota to win the elections. The elections for the members of the Rajya Sabha are done this way, and we will explain how it works later in the video. But when we talk specifically about India, ours is a parliamentary system that aims to distribute power between the central government and the states. And the best part, every adult citizen gets an equal say in the political matter of the nation. One person, one vote for the win. But before I take you through the different levels of the government, I would like you to take out a second and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on so that you can stay updated. In India, we have three levels of government: central, state, and local. The Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha form the central government. Elections are conducted periodically for members of both the houses as well as the president. At the state level, we have the Legislative Assembly and the Legislative Council for which members are elected. At this level, an election is called an assembly election. And at the local level, we have village panchayats or the city corporation councils. Elections are held for these posts as well. Lok Sabha elections might be the most exciting time in Indian politics, with the ability to keep us all hooked to our screens and biting our nails right until every vote is counted. Centrally, the Lok Sabha is also known as the House of the People. It is the lower house of India's parliament and is burdened with creating new laws and altering or removing existing laws. Clearly a mammoth task. Because of how each law affects the citizens of India, the members of the Lok Sabha are directly elected by the people in order to fill its allotted 543 seats. Representation is ensured because each state is allotted a number of seats and is divided into constituencies, such that each constituency has one seat. The number of seats allotted to the state and the number of constituencies is divided in such a manner that the ratio between the population of each constituency and the number of seats remain the same across the state. The winner of the constituency is decided by the first past the post system, where the candidate with the highest votes wins. By that logic, a party needs 272 out of the 543 MPs to form the central government. In case a party doesn't have 272 MPs, it can form a political coalition to form the government. If at all no party can form a government, elections are held again. The Prime Minister needs to be an elected member of the Parliament and is voted in by the other members of the Parliament. The upper house or the Rajya Sabha is also known as the Council of States and currently has a maximum of 250 seats. The allocation of states for the Rajya Sabha is made on the basis of the population of each state. Unlike Lok Sabha, candidates are not elected directly by the citizens but by the members of the state legislative assemblies. The president has a special power to nominate people for 12 seats for their contribution to art, literature, science, and social services. While members of the Rajya Sabha have a tenure of 6 years, not all members are elected at once. Elections happen every 2 years for one-third of the members. The elections are held on the basis of proportional representation, and voting is done by a single transferable vote, wherein a candidate has to achieve a certain quota of votes to win. The quota of votes for the Rajya Sabha is decided based on this formula. Value of vote becomes 100 if there are more than one vacancies. Let's take Karnataka for example. If Karnataka has 100 MLAs and 3 vacancies, the vote required for being elected becomes 2501. While voting, the members of the assembly rank the candidates in order of their preference. Any candidate who has a number of first preferences greater than or equal to 2501 is immediately elected. Now that we are through with the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha election processes, it's time to talk about the first citizen of the country. The president is elected by a group of MPs from both houses of the parliament as well as the elected member of the state assemblies. These people form the electoral college and vote for the president. The voting process is similar to that of the Rajya Sabhas, but there's a tiny difference that makes a huge impact. The value of votes is different for MPs and MLAs that are calculated based on some complicated formulas which would take a lot of time to explain. We hope you understand how central elections work, how seats are filled, and how the honorable president is elected into power. But there's still a lot to learn. The Indian democracy is a well-oiled machine that needs state governments to support the central government and vice versa. It's impossible to discuss the Indian election system and leave out state and local government bodies. But this was a lot of information to take in from just one video. So do come back next week to know how the state and local elections work in India. If you found this informative, please like and share this video. And again, don't forget to subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on so that you can stay updated.